Coming from these Philly streets, walking to my own beat, telling noisemakers I won't compete, cause I know I'm gonna be a beast. I go hard for what I want, I go hard for what I need.
Hello and good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Face Behind the Brand, where I talk to entrepreneurs that use their passion for success and change the game. I'm your host, Denise Murray, but before I introduce you to my special guest of the day, I need you all to do me a favor. If you are on Instagram, LinkedIn, and now even Facebook, tell me what city and state that you're tuning in from. And let me know where you're at. Good evening, Colette. Good evening, Chevalier, I think is your name. I'm sorry if I'm chopping you up. Hello, good evening. Now, first, we have Quiana Braxton, a remarkable mother of two who embodies multitasking at the finest. Not only is she the secretary of the mayor and the chief of police, but she's a talented massage therapist, esthetician, balloon artist, and a head designer and owner of Decor by Divas. Quiana's creativity and dedication truly shine through everything she does. And joining her is the amazing Diamond Murray, a devoted mother of 3 and 2 bonus kids. Diamond is a co-owner of Decor by Divas, where she serves as a lead designer and creative director. Her passion for design and knack for balancing family life with her entrepreneurial spirit is truly inspiring. Together, Quiana and Diamond bring wealth of experience and insight to the world of creativity, motherhood, and entrepreneurship. Now let's go ahead and dive in and hear from Diamond and Quiana. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Awesome.
I was like, who's
I want to thank y'all so much for coming on with me tonight. And I want to go ahead and dive into it. So, Quiana, can you share a bit about your journey and how you balance so many roles in your life?
I'm a Gemini, so I get bored easily. So multitasking is my thing. I have to do a million things at one time in order to keep my interest. So it's not actually hard for me to balance doing a whole bunch of different things because it's actually what drives me.
Awesome. Now, Diamond, what inspired you to join forces with Quiana to co-create Decor by Divas?
A million and one things. So I have children. So once I had children and I wanted to start doing birthday parties, I wanted things to be a little different and I wanted them to be the way that I wanted them to be. And I knew that she would be able to take my thoughts and my designs and bring them to life. And that's really what she.
Awesome. Now, what sparked your passion for design and decorating, Quiana?
I like art. I like crafting. I like different things. We come from a creative family. Creativity and arts is just in our bloodline. So I balance that with science. So sometimes you get really cool things that are creative, but they're also nerdy. So I like to balance those two different things. Like we make signature drinks and they'll be floating different layers and it's like 3 different liquors in it, but it's all science about buoyancy and content and things like that. So I just like to mix the both of them.
Well, let's talk about that. What drink are we talking about?
Well, I made a Brindisi. It's like, so you can take like a Gatorade or a drink that has a low sugar content that will sink to the bottom of it. Then you get another drink that has a higher sugar content. It could be like the mix you make for like what do you call those things? Bahama Mamas, or the mix you make for pina coladas. That's thicker and has more sugar, so that's going to sit in the middle. And then you use something like a grenadine or like a blue Curaçao that has a higher sugar content, so it sits at the top. So you'll get like a red, white, and blue. You'll get a red, green, and whatever, and it just floats. But you can mix it all together and drink it. But it looks really, really cool and really, really pretty when it's just sitting here on the table. It winds up being a centerpiece before you even touch anything, you know, as far as decorations for your event.
Now that right there, y'all. Now y'all know y'all all just wrote that down on a paper so y'all can say that's y'all signature drink for y'all next cookout. So y'all better give her props for that. This now. Now, Diamond, Can you tell me what sparked your passion for the designing and decorating?
So for me, I'm extra. I'm extra. Just be honest. I'm extra. So when I'm having an event, I want it to be top tier. I want this to be this way, this to be that way. And so for me, it was just like, if I don't get into it, it won't be right. I have to have my hands into it. I have to be a part. I can't just walk into an event and it just not be a part of it. I have to have my hands in it. Because I know that if I have my hands in it, it's going to be what I want it to be.
Right. Now, can you describe a memorable project you've worked on with Decor and Divas? Like one that was the most memorable that you've ever done?
Me or her?
Either both of y'all.
For me, it's probably my mom's wedding.
Okay.
We made all the centerpieces. They were glass with flowers inside of them. We had table runners that were filled with flowers and crystals. We had the cake. You had a Fee on here from Treats by Fee. My mom lost the topper. She couldn't find it. We had extra flowers left over from the corsages and things. Fee put the stuff around the cake and had it coming down the side. So she saved the cake at the last minute. But we had like 2 hours of sleep, Diamond. We were up until about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, decorating, putting floor decals down, hanging things up. We basically had to repaint the whole venue because it had flood damage. But nobody would know that day that they came in for their wedding that we didn't go to sleep until 5 o'clock that morning.
Wow.
Right.
Now, Dave Monet said my graduation.
Now, I will say that was probably my favorite balloon arch ever was her graduation. I will say that.
I will also say that was my favorite.
That is top 2 of my favorite balloon arches, and it's not number 2.
Okay. Now, were there any challenges that y'all ever faced with entrepreneurship, and how did you have to overcome them?
Family and friends. Family and friends are our biggest challenge. It basically started, like Diamond said, we wanted stuff that you couldn't find in the store. Or if we wanted something and they didn't have it, we had to make it and just made it go in with the decor. So we've been doing it, but only for ourselves. She throws more parties than I do. Diamond is the party queen. So it really started from her. It's really her fault because I was just doing it as to, having added touches on tables and things like that. She started with, I want balloons and I want coloring books and I want her kid's first birthday party. It was Elmo. She had fish on the table, gave the kids fish as gifts to take home. We had crackers, like everything was themed to it. So it really is Diamond's fault because she knows so many people and so many people come to her events. Everybody wants what she has, right? Which is fine because Diamond is great advertisement. If Diamond doesn't do anything, she's very great at advertising and putting things together as far as visions. But the problem is that Diamond doesn't pay for that stuff. So tell the friends and the family members how much it costs, they don't want to pay that, or they want to discount when we're already discounting it because of family and friends. But then they'll go pay somebody else triple what we charge, or they won't ask us. They'll hire somebody else, and then those people flake on them, and then they want us to work miracles 2 days before an event.
But this is why I like to have my hands in it, because I know that I'm going to get what I'm going to get, and I'm not going to go and pay someone else to do it. I'm going to do it myself with my sister. We're going to do it the way that I want it to be done. That was how I got into it. It was just like, Quiana, I know that you can do it. I know that you can do this, and I can help you. So let's do it.
Right.
And it's done.
Yeah, that's good. And that's good to have that partnership where you have somebody that's doing it with you, so you can have that, especially somebody you're close to. Because sometimes there's so many battles when it comes to working with other people, and then people not showing up or not being attentive and doing what you really need, and then that y'all can feed off of each other. So that's really, really good.
Yeah, and it's really good that she picked up quickly because a lot of things I was doing a lot of everything myself. But she now takes some of that off of my plate, and she's also taught other people how to do it. So now we can slide chip bags off to somebody else, slide personalized Pringles off to somebody else. She still doesn't want to learn how to do the balloons, but
Now, Chum Chum Mom said, "Be prepared, baby shower soon."
baby
now,
shower. Okay.
now, how do you both manage juggling your busy careers with being mothers?
You can go first.
My career is actually my saving grace. It's my time away from the kids. It's where I can clear my head, where I don't have to worry about anybody but me at that moment. So that when I get that 8 hours of me time, when I come home, I miss them. Like I want to be around them. And they're older, so they're very
Right.
self-sufficient. So it's not like they're getting away. But it's not really hard. Like anything you want to do, you find a way to do it.
Right.
There was a time where I worked 3 jobs, was in school full time, and was still doing parties. Like you just have the time management is the number one, and calendars, writing everything down, text messages, having a thread of what you got to do, when it needs to be done, what you need. Just organization is the key.
Oh my God, girl. Well, can I put that on a blowhorn? Because I say that all the time. Colette Brooks 850 says so very true. But I say that all the time. I say people have time for what they want to have time for. And you can do whatever it is, but if it's something that you truly want to do, you're going to do it. If you don't really want to do it, that's why I tell everybody with business, I say it has to be something that you're passionate about. Because if you're not passionate about it, you're not going to do it. Because you're going to feel like, oh, I don't feel like doing it. But if it's something that you truly have a passion for, you're going to get it done. You know what I mean? So I love that answer that you gave. Go ahead, Diamond. What was you going to say?
No, I definitely agree. It's definitely time management and organization. For me, on a day to day, I'm a mom of 5. I have my 3 and then my bonus 2, and so going out and doing parties for one of my children or a client, it just makes life happy. Like when a person comes in the venue and sees what you put together from their vision, and you have your own vision on top of it, and you put in both visions together, and you're giving them and making that event space what they want it to be, the smiles, the tears, it's all worth it. It's all worth it. Because when I have an event and I see, when I have an event, I'm stressed out when I have my own, stressed out because it's mine. So it's like I do this. It got to be right, and so I'm stressed out. And once it all comes together, it's just like I did it again. I did it again. So and I know that when people come in, when clients come in and see the venue, whether it's a house, outside, a hall, when they see it all put together, it's like breathtaking. It's like, wow, you had a couple hours, and this is what you did with those couple hours. So it'd be all worth it.
Yeah, and y'all do be putting some stuff together in a little bit of time. And what strategies or routines do you find helpful in maintaining the balance?
As far as like parties or just life?
Just with both, like with work, business, and family.
So with the business, the best thing we do is to pre-assemble what we can pre-assemble. Because a lot of times you only have an hour, you only have 2 hours to decorate. And the last thing you really want to be doing is still decorating when guests are coming in. So we try to pre-assemble as much as we can. We did a baby shower that had a hot air balloon, had to rent a U-Haul truck. Literally we only had an hour to decorate, so all the centerpieces were together. So you're talking about teddy bears on cloud balloons with balloons on top of them that were too tall to fit in her truck, too tall to fit in my minivan. So we had to rent a U-Haul so that they could all be done. We literally carried them out the truck and stuck them on the tables. The best thing to do is to pre-plan, have as much stuff put together as you can so that it's already assembled and you only have to put finishing touches on. As far as life, the same thing. You got to pre-plan. You have to have a plan B. If A doesn't go right, you got to figure out ahead of time, what can you do to fix it? There's been times we've forgotten things. There's been times we left things and we had to improvise. And you just have to think about what can go wrong. You got to pre-plan. You got to plan ahead.
That's real good.
And that's all the way down even to the balloons. Like blowing the balloons up days prior to your event, and then assembling them as much as you can for them to fit, then to get them to the venue to just, like she said, put the finishing touches on them.
That's real good. Now, Quiana, what has been most rewarding aspect of your various roles?
Probably the smiles on people's faces. And like Diamond said, she tells me what she wants and I bring it to life. That's probably the best thing. When people pull inspiration from a lot of different things and they tell you what you want and they're like, you were in my head. Like, how did you see in my head? That's exactly what I wanted. Diamond had me making a Mad Hatter box set for her daughter, which a Mad Hatter box is where the boxes are uneven, but they stand straight up and they're not supposed to fall down. Figuring that out.
Oh, wow.
How not to, for something that looks like it's falling over, not to fall over is not as easy as it seems, but that's where the nerdiness comes in and you figure it out.
And you still had to be able to read it because it read my daughter's name.
Yeah. So
wow.
the names had to be lined up even though the boxes were all centered and it had to. So that's where science helps when Diamond thinks of really, really crazy things and people want hot air balloons with teddy bears in it and Care Bears hanging off the ceiling, but there's nothing to hang them off the ceiling. So I just be like, this is not my Super Sweet 16. Like, I'm sorry, but we always figure it out. We always figure out a way to get what people done and then just thank you. And then other people always after the events are like, oh, do you have a card? What's this? What's that? So that's the most rewarding thing is when you do a really, really good job and then somebody comes up to you afterwards and they want to use your services.
Right. Now, Diamond, how has your experience as a mother influenced your work in design?
Oh, it's my drive. It gives me life. I'm the mom that has 5 kids who have some type of party every year. And every year I say,
just the last one.
Like every year I say, next year we're not doing this again. Then I find something else and boom, it comes to life again. So because of that, like because the kids say, hey, you know, they like for the family and friends to come together. I want to have a party. Okay, what kind of party you want to have? Once they give me the theme, I just go crazy with it. One of my bonus sons, he wanted a Hot Wheels party. I went all the way down to having marshmallows inside of a jar, saying that they were airbags.
Wow.
Chocolate donuts, saying that they were spare tires. Like I made Kool-Aid that was green, that was for antifreeze. Like once it gets in my head, I just go crazy. I just go crazy. So
and let's not forget the Pringle cans that had the cars on top of them.
Yes.
With racetracks on top of them.
They are for sure the inspiration. They make me want to do more.
Now that's a real creative mind. You got a very creative mind because I would have never thought of nothing like that. When we were growing up, our parties was cake and ice cream and the cousins coming over and hot dogs, and that was it.
And some balloons blowing up in clusters.
Colette Brooks said that's a hell of an imagination. Yes, it is.
And it came together and it was amazing. It was amazing. The way that it looked on the table, it was amazing. We made great Kool-Aid and we called it motor oil. And it was juice. It's just once I get a theme, once a person tells me a theme and me and Quiana sit down, I'm like throwing this out. She's like, slow down. She has to tell me, like, slow down, because this is not one of your events. These people have to pay for this stuff. You have to see, we have to put it in their budget.
Right.
I'm always still trying to go above and beyond. Always.
Hence why she's the creative director.
Now, what advice would you give to other mothers looking to pursue their passion while managing family life? I'm going to let each of y'all answer.
Start small. Whatever it is that you like, that you want to do, focus in on that. If you want to do t-shirts, focus in on t-shirts before you start venturing off to other things. Stick to one thing until you get that thing where you want it to go. Once you get the perfected down, once you can know how much time it's going to take you to make it. I know I can make a shirt in a day. And that's after working 8 hours. I know if you give it to me, I'm designing it at work on my phone. I can come home, cut it out, print it out. I can make you a shirt in 24 hours. But start small, stick to one thing. And then once you get that one thing down, then add something else to your line, add something else to your brand. Don't try to do a whole bunch of things at one time, because you're going to burn yourself out and then you're not going to want to do it anymore.
And you need to stay focused. If this is what you want to do it. Don't let nobody say, oh, what are you doing this for? Because such and such does this and such does that. And they don't do what we do. So it doesn't matter.
And everybody's
everybody eat.
And everybody's different.
I have multiple people that do the same thing that we do. Say, where did you get that idea from? What made you think about that? And that's just the creativity that comes to life when you doing something that you want to do. You just have to keep moving and do it.
And follow people that do the same thing that you want to do. We already had Revlon when Rihanna made Fenty. Like, there's enough. People live in different areas. People live in different states and different cities. There's enough to go around for you to do the same thing. And you can delegate.
Right.
I had somebody want shirts in Atlanta. I couldn't deliver it to them in time in Atlanta in a time frame. I gave her somebody I saw on Instagram that I follow that does the same thing I do in Atlanta. So networking with people on social media that do the same thing that you do is wonderful.
Now, are there any resources or tools that you would recommend for aspiring entrepreneurs trying to do what you're doing?
YouTube, social media, and whatever you want to do. If you don't already know how to do it or know where to start, the best thing to do is to research it. And with the internet, everything is at your fingertips. You literally can find anything that you're looking for. People ask me, do I do certain things? And I'm like, yep. And I'm like, Diamond, how do you do that? We don't ever say no, we don't know how to do it. We figure it out. But that's the beauty of the internet. You can figure out how to do anything. Right. The best resources are other people who are doing what you're already doing.
Exactly. Now, what is next for Decor and Divas?
What's next, Diamond?
We got a baby shower coming up. Right? We just actually did it was small but not so small event for my twins' 13th birthday. We were supposed to go on a cruise. We couldn't do that because of the hurricane. So we had a party, and I made waivers. I had wristbands, like just over the top stuff. But we have a baby shower coming up, and then I will be 40. So you will be seeing some Diva events up real soon, because I already have my thoughts in my head. I just try to bring them to Quiana a little bit at a time, because I'm very overwhelming for her when it comes to something that I want to do.
Diamond is extra.
Shum said, get together, turn in full on party.
We have a wedding.
Yes. We have a wedding in January. It's not a wedding. It's called an iftar. It's what Muslims do when they get married.
Okay.
So that's what we have coming up in January.
Okay.
But
now, and my baby will be 13. I don't know what we're doing for that.
13.
Yeah, we just did her 13s, and then mine will be 13 in January.
My kid's 13th birthday was just supposed to be a little get together. You know how they say you follow people. So I was going on a cruise, and then my coworker's son had a Orby party, and my son is obsessed with it. So I just was like, okay, last minute I'm gonna have an Orby party, and then it became.
Can you tell people what that is for the people who don't know what that is?
So Orby party is basically like back in the day where we had like Nerf guns, where they have like the little soft bullets that come out that you shoot and they come out. Orbeez are like little gel capsules that you put into water, they swell, and then you put them inside the gun and you shoot them. Some hurt, some don't. But it's really big here in Philadelphia. Like, it's really big here. Nerf was really big probably about 3 years ago. Yeah, because my twins had a Nerf party. 3 years ago. So Nerf was real big then. Now it's the Orby guns. So the Orby guns They look like real guns, but they have like these weird colors on them to make them not be assumed as a real firearm. Like they have like designs and stuff on them. It's really fun. It was very fun interacting, exercising because we were running around, and it was just a good time.
What she's leaving out is that she bought barricades. She had barricades for the kids to hide behind.
So I didn't, but see, this
She
is
had
when you
a
use your
gigantic
resources.
tub about this big filled with extra Orbeez for refill stations.
Wow.
Yeah, but this was supposed to be
And
a
I
small
made
one.
signs. I made signs for every single thing. I made a waiver and wristband table where the parents had to sign waivers to state that your child is coming with their own fake firearm. I would supply the fake bullets, and then if something happened to your child, you were responsible. So that's what the waiver said. I didn't even have to buy the barricades because my coworker had just had a party, so I actually used my resources and said, "Hey, can I borrow these?" And then by the end of the night, before she left the party, I had took all the air out, wrapped them up, and shipped them back out. Thank you so much. You have to use your resources, and that's when it comes to anything, life, business. You have to use your resources. You never know where you can go or what you can get from the next person if you don't open your mouth.
Right.
Closed
And
mouth
that's
don't get fed.
exactly. Now, how do you envision the future of your business in the next few years?
For me, I want a storefront, but I don't really want a storefront like for people to shop. Because we collaborate with so many different people, technically I want an event space. We want an event space where we can decorate 2 to 3 rooms with base colors, like a gold room, a silver room, a black room, and then you just add whatever your extra colors are to it. So those rooms are already set up. All we will have to do to come in there is basically, your centerpieces and do your balloons. One with a full kitchen, because we also have somebody that caters. We also have a girl who does cookies. We have a girl that does treats. You have to delegate, because in the beginning we did everything ourselves.
Right.
And like I said, when you use social media, you find people who that are doing stuff that they're doing as hobbies, and these are their small businesses. We need cookies. I call up Sugarlicious Cookies. Hey, I need 6 dozen cookies. I probably her biggest orders when I order. We need treats. We call up Fee. Hey, Treats by Fee. We need these. We need food. Rose by Sharon. Somebody needs catering. Can you do it? Like we use like she said, we use our resources, because we can't do everything.
Right. That's so true. Diamond, did you want to add to that?
No, I was just listening. I thought she was gonna miss something, and I was just gonna jump in, but no, she got it down. That's why she's the owner, and I'm just the kid.
Now, give us a takeaway that you hope the listeners will gain from today's conversation.
Whatever you want to do it. It doesn't matter if you're a mom, doesn't matter if you're working, it doesn't matter if people are telling you not to. That little push to start is extra income. When people say, "Oh, I don't have the resources to do this, the resources to do that," it's very easy to start any business with just the basic necessities. And as you get more orders, then you build up your inventory, you build up the stuff that you need. Everybody starts somewhere small. Like they're all small businesses for a reason. You start small. Don't give up. But like Diamond said, it has to be something that you're focused on and that you're passionate about, because otherwise it's not going to work. You're going to wind up spending a lot of time and wasting a lot of money on something that you don't even use. I can't tell you how many people be like, "Oh, do you need another Cricut? Because I bought one 3 years ago and I never took it out the box." Sure, I'll take a free one. Like, because Mom had me cutting 700 things. Like, for her baby shower alone, I had to cut out like 250 stars. And that's all stuff we used to do by hand, because we didn't have the equipment. So we used to cut out everything by hand. So now we have machines that do it for us. But we started small, literally drawing, printing, coloring, and doing everything by ourselves until we started building up the resources to be able to have like actual machinery that does that takes that load off you, so you can do more orders because you're not manually doing it. And time management, you got to make time. If you don't sleep, do your stuff at night when you don't sleep.
And don't use your kids as excuses. people don't realize that when you say, oh, I can't do this because of my kids, or I can't do this because of my kids, you don't realize that that little push
Mm.
is going to benefit your kids in the long run.
Amen.
So like
And if
how
you
I
like
have
us, you use your kids.
All
no,
right.
like really, like you no, for real, because like for me, I have kids, and so therefore for my children I want these big events. I want everybody to want to come. But when they say Diamond's having an event, everybody wants to come because they know that at my event you're going to see something's going to be different every time. And so because I have my hands in it, I don't have to put the money out that another person would have to put out for it, because
Mhm.
I'm actually hands on doing it. It's
Right.
just like, come on, let's go. I want to go.
Right.
I want to go 5 steps higher now, because see, I would have had to pay 5 figures, but now I'm doing it myself, so I'm just gonna take it 5 steps up.
Mm-hmm. That's
Just,
awesome. And like I
just
said,
don't
that's
use your kids
what
as
you said.
excuses.
Don't use your
Go for
kids.
what you want to do.
Exactly. I love what both of y'all said, because there are a lot of people out there that they say, well, I can't do this because I have kids, or I can't do this because I got this going on. And I'm like, if you really want to do it, you're going to find a way to get it done. But
We
you have
use
to
our
do it
kids.
with passion. And my thing is, your kids should be your motivation. That's what
They're
I
our
always
motivation and our workers.
because and then not only that, we are entrepreneurs. Do y'all realize that what a lot of people don't realize is you can write your kids can actually get paid off of your business, and it can be tax free. Did y'all hear that? It can be tax free. So, like I say, when people talk about kids, I'm like, don't talk about your kids. Let that be your motivation, because you want to do more for your children than what you actually have. You want to see, we want to start seeing generational wealth in the families, opposed to people dying and people trying to figure out how they're gonna pay for a funeral. We want to know that everything is taken care of, and that you have your people, your kids, and everybody is in place going forward. And so I love that y'all came on, and everything y'all said. I know y'all got some inspiration. People are throwing their hands and claps and everything in the chat.
I have one more thing too. Also, I just want people to know, like when I say don't use your kids as excuses, for myself, I have an autistic daughter. I have an
Mhm.
autistic daughter who needs a lot of my time. And yes, she's 13 now, but she still needs a lot of my time. There's still a lot of things that she's still working on and still doing in life. And I still make time to do the things that I want, because later on down the line, it's going to be all worth it for her
Right.
and my other children.
And that's a blessing. Now, before we go, because I know y'all done gave out so many good pointers, and I know people are right now probably like, I need to get in contact with them for my next event. So I need y'all to tell them how they can get in contact with y'all, and how they
We
can
have two
follow
pages on Instagram. We have Decor by Divas on Instagram, and then we have Decor by Divas apparel on Instagram. That's where the t-shirts are, the buttons, basically anything you can wear is on apparel.
you.
Decor by Divas is the balloons, the centerpieces, the gift bags, the whatever you want for a birthday party. We're also on Facebook, Decor by Divas.
Okay. And y'all heard it right there. Y'all better get with them, get your next party going. Cause I'm telling y'all, if I didn't lose all my photos, I could have showed y'all more photos in there clipping. But just from little bits that they did, just even for myself, they are so amazing. So I want to say thank you, Diamond and Quiana, for coming on. I appreciate y'all so much. And if anybody came on late, no worries. You can watch the full episode on YouTube. And remember to like and subscribe my channel. It's UBELLC. So do not miss out on your weekly tips and motivation to level up, that inspiration. And remember, whatever you want to do in life, it's possible. Remember to say that all the time. It's possible. You can do whatever it is that you want to do, as long as you're being your authentic self and that you're passionate about it. So I want to thank everyone for coming on. I want to thank my guests tonight. And as I always say, thank y'all. Happy Winning Wednesday. And I will see you all again next Wednesday. Good night, everyone.
Night.
Good night.